Good morning, mighty companion. Well, or good day, whatever time of the day that you're checking this out. I'm Earl Purdy, and I'm doing your latest Course in Miracles lesson for today. And that lesson is lesson 43. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see apart from God. Simply means God is my source. My Creator is my source. I cannot see clearly separate from my Creator. I cannot see separate from my Creator. I cannot see differently from my Creator because my Creator is my source. Perception is not an attribute of God. Isn't that a trip? Perception is not an attribute of God. That means God's realm is the realm of knowledge, which is absolute certainty. Yet God has created the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the mediator that you have. Your Holy Spirit, your higher God self, is the mediator between perception, which is interpretation, and knowledge, which is absolute certainty. Without this link with the Holy Spirit, the part of you that's linked to the truth in God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind without the link with God, which is your Holy Spirit. With this link, the Holy Spirit, with God, perception will become so changed and purified that your perception will lead you to knowledge. That is its function. As the Holy Spirit sees the function of your perception, the function of your perception is supposed to lead you to the knowledge of God and truth and love. Therefore, that is perception's function in truth. The function of perception is to lead you to the truth. The function of perception is to lead you to love. The function of perception is to lead you to love. In God, you cannot see. In the Creator, you cannot see, because perception or interpretation has no function in God. God doesn't need to interpret anything. God knows. So perception really doesn't exist in reality. Yet in salvation, that means in our right-mindedness, in our healing process, in forgiving, in salvation, yet in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, perception has a mighty purpose in the undoing of the fear and conflict that never was. Perception made by you, the child of God, for an unholy or a fearful purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of your holiness, which is your innocence, to your awareness. So your perception must now lead to the restoration of your innocence in your awareness. Perception in and of itself has no meaning. Yet does the Holy Spirit, the voice for the Creator within you, give perception a meaning very close to God's. Healed perception, corrected perception, becomes the means by which you, the Son of God, the creation of love, forgives your brother and thus forgives yourself. You cannot see different from God. You cannot see apart from God, because you cannot be apart from God. You cannot be separate from God. Whatever you do in the Creator, because whatever you think with the Creator's mind. If vision is real, and vision is real, to the extent to which your vision shares the Holy Spirit's purpose of love and perfect happiness, then you actually cannot see apart from God. 3 5-minute practice periods are required today. One practice period as early as possible and one as late as possible in the day. The third practice period may be undertaken at the most convenient and suitable time that circumstances and readiness permit. At the beginning of these practice periods, repeat the idea for today: God is my source. I cannot see apart from God. God is my source. I cannot see apart from God. So repeat this idea to yourself with your eyes open. Then glance around you for a short time, applying the idea specifically to what you see. 4 or 5 subjects for this phase of the practice period are sufficient. You might say, for example, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from God. God is my source. I cannot see this computer screen apart from God. Although this part of the exercise period should be relatively short, be sure that you select the subjects for this phase of practice indiscriminately. That means without self-directed inclusion or exclusion. For the second and longer phase, close your eyes, repeat today's idea: God is my source. I cannot see apart from him, again, and then let whatever relevant thoughts occur to you. Add to the idea in your own personal way thoughts such as: I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea, God is my source, I cannot see apart from him. Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, but your thoughts should not be in opposition to the idea that God is your source and you can't see apart from it. If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of thoughts which are clearly out of accord with today's idea, God is my source, I cannot see apart from him, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes, repeat the first phase of the exercise period, and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts. Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as necessary to prevent this. In applying today's idea, God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. In applying today's idea in the shorter practice periods, the form may vary according to the circumstances and situations in which you find yourself during the day. When you are with someone else, for example, try to remember to tell that person silently when you're with them, God is my source, I cannot see you apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see you apart from God. This form is equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think are closer to you than strangers. In fact, try not to make distinctions of this kind at all. Apply to everyone. Today's idea, God is my source, I cannot see apart from him, should also be applied throughout the day to various situations and events that may occur, particularly to situations and events which seem to distress you in any way. Be sure to say, God is my source, I cannot see this apart from God. For this purpose, if you're upset, for this purpose, apply the idea in this form. God is my source, I cannot see this apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see this person apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see this situation that's disturbing me apart from God. If no particular subject presents itself to your awareness at the time, merely repeat the idea in its original form. Try today not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea, and thus remembering your function. So, your thought for today is, God is my source, I cannot see apart from him. God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. Love is my source, I cannot see apart from love. Love is my source, I cannot see apart from love. Love is my source, I cannot see apart from love. Love is my source, I cannot see apart from love. God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. God is my source, I cannot see apart from God. That's your thought for today. This is Earl Purdy. Forward these videos to people that you feel might benefit from them. Check me out at earlpurdy.com and let peace extend from my mind and my heart to yours.